Good morning. This is your Barbados Today Morning News Update for Friday, January 3. Prime Minister Mottley is promising to make Barbados great again, saying it was time the country becomes an exemplar for others. She made the declaration on Thursday night during an hour-long address in which she outlined several plans for the next 7 years, while giving an update on several niggling issues affecting the country. Stating that the time had come for government to have a frank conversation about where it was, what it has achieved, and where it has fallen short, Mottley said her administration believes that over the next 7 years, Barbados must be transformed into a world-class society.
My government, my friends, is of the view that the next 7 years of our country's life must be used to build the best Barbados together that we can build, and in so doing, to be regarded as an exemplar for others.
One of those niggling issues Mottley addressed was the country's garbage woes. She first sought to put to rest concerns about the purchase of new garbage trucks, which cost $400,000 each. Prime Minister Mottley assured the trucks were sourced in line with procurement rules.
There are two definite, separate suppliers. Both are in accordance with the procurement rules. The first went to full tender, and that required 9 months for the delivery of those 12 trucks that are now to come. And during the course of October, late October, the Sanitation Services Authority received a request that it could have supplied to them trucks from one of the best known manufacturers for compactor trucks that could come within a month. Under the procurement rules, the government is allowed to do emergency procurement in a crisis. Do I need to ask you whether we had a crisis in garbage collection in this country? I think not.
Mottley also announced that government would be entering an agreement with the SBRC to help tackle the garbage problem.
We are already in partnership with the private waste haulers to help us with bulky waste. We've already recognized that even in the reduction of the amounts that we pay to SBRC, and we have reduced their amount from 24 million a year to 13 million a year, that we will work with them towards a joint venture with respect to renewable energy to help create another stream of income for the Sanitation Services Authority so that your taxes don't have to carry the SSA's work alone. Equally, we have determined that we will work with civil society to finally work towards the introduction of a comprehensive, educated program for recycling in Barbados.
In other news, the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency is raising questions about whether stakeholders in the tourism sector are taking action to protect the sector against natural disasters. SEDIMA's Executive Director Ronald Jackson placed the issue on the table as he expressed doubt over the region's development and risk management practices in the industry.
Are we considering future indirect climatic impacts related from risk to future economic growth, to disincentives from our markets for long-haul travel through the imposition of additional carbon taxes on long-haul travel? Have we stopped to consider that and the implications that will have on our ambitions of growing and sustaining the sector? Have we looked at the infrastructure, the coastal degradation that is taking place, the lack of consideration to our natural environment from which we derive all of this wealth, well-being, and benefits? And I heard all of the speakers, and I'm not trying to be controversial, but we sound good on paper. But if we look at our practices, are we truly delivering on this agenda for resilience?
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Festive Friday at the Bridgetown Night Market at Pelican Craft Center. Kick off the weekend this Friday from 4 p.m. to midnight with loads of food, drinks, and entertainment. Get ready for Crop Over with the Rhythm Roots Street Parade. Party like it's Kadooman Day on the street around Pelican Village with costume reveler, music, and more. It's Festive Friday. It's Festive Friday at the Bridgetown Night Market at Pelican Village Center from 4 p.m. to midnight. Admission free.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To regional news, in Grenada, a ban on the sale of carbonated beverages and sweet snacks on the compounds of public and private schools has taken effect. We get the details from GBN Television.
Apart from obesity, there are other chronic illnesses that can arise from the overindulgence of carbonated beverages. The School Nutrition Policy, an effort by the Ministry of Education in collaboration with the Grenada Food and Nutrition Council, is one way of targeting major health issues at a young age. Nutritionist at the council, Cherise Bristol, explains the strength of the ban.
School nutrition policy, we have been working in council with Ministry of Education, and we have worked with 10 schools on the island, including Caracu. So they had to meet at least 8 criteria out of 13, and out of the criteria was the exclusion of the sugar-sweetened beverages on the school's compound, and there should be no sale of such products. Neither students nor teachers or staff should have any of such products on the compound.
Bristol explained how imposing such a ban is beneficial to the parties most affected, the students.
So initiative of banning the sale or the availability of such products on the compound will help our health rates go down in terms of obesity, which we have seen in the Form 1, as well as dental caries and the onset of diabetes.
On the international scene, in Mexico, authorities are reporting one of the worst outbreaks of violence in the country's penal system. More in this report from Reuters Television.
16 inmates were killed and 5 others wounded in a prison fight in northern Mexico. It marks one of the worst outbreaks of violence since President López Obrador took power. The fight broke out Tuesday at a correctional facility in the town of Cienfuegos. Local media say the dispute was triggered by a soccer game. Afterwards, 1 inmate was arrested with a firearm and 3 more guns were found in the prison. Authorities did not comment on the cause of the deadly brawl. However, local officials confirmed the situation was brought under control. Mexico launched an investigation to determine how the guns and several knives were brought into the prison. The country's penal system is notorious for violent clashes. Prisons there are infamous for being overcrowded and corrupt. It's also another blow to the security track record of leader López Obrador. The president took office pledging to reduce record levels of violence in Mexico. Instead, the latest data shows 2019 was a grisly year, with the tally of homicides on track to surge past the year before.
That's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Azuma Media in bus terminals, as well as Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.